How's it going, guys? Matthew here from elevation.io, jumping on to run through this case study, unlocking profitability and scale with our growth partnership. How we took one of our brand partners from doing 8.5k per month to 587,000 per month while maintaining a highly profitable ROAS and margins. So who are we? We are elevation.io. We are an e-commerce growth partner who help e-commerce brands scale with customer acquisition and creative strategy and production. Okay, so I'll jump straight into it, guys, and hopefully this won't be too long. But it is 26 pages, so we'll see how we can do. So how do we go from 8.5k to 587,000? Okay. First of all, a little bit of context on this brand. Okay, so prior to working with these guys, they had been successful on Amazon. They had some products in retail stores, and they had been working with a few agencies, and they had tested out running their ads in-house with their marketing manager to generate sales via Shopify. But they had some success, but they could not seem to break over 12 to 13k. That was their highest month, but on average they were doing in around 8 to 10k. Okay. Their ads were not profitable, and they actually kind of said on the first call with us they didn't feel like Facebook ads really worked for them. Okay, so how we did this and how we implemented this for these guys and got them from where they were to where they are now currently. We used a four pillar approach, okay, which we use with all of our Shopify and D2C e-commerce brands. This allows us to help us know what's working, spend less, grow more, and essentially bring in bigger profits for the brand we work with in a more cost-effective way, okay, while growing their brands and their bank accounts. Okay, so our process from A to Z looks like this. Okay, so account structure, creative domination, channel alignment, and brand growth, scale, market domination. Okay, so I'll jump straight in and run through all of these within this case study, and there's some other very valuable information as well in here for any D2C e-commerce brands that are watching. Okay, so for us, when working with any brand, it's important for us to analyze their account before doing anything. This is a must do. Okay, so this involves a deep dive into their account, seeing what's been working for them, if anything, seeing what hasn't, seeing what they have, if they have the correct structure or not. This allows us not to waste time when we begin running ads and test things. And test things that have already been tested and they haven't worked or they have worked. So it allows us to see this. Okay. It allows us also to see if there may be a problem on their website, their landing pages, their product, their offer. Okay. So for this client, we could see that they've been running ads, but the wrong conversion event selected, which was add to cart. Okay. A lot of them were add to cart. Some of them were purchase. Okay. But whoever was running their account previously had obviously been selecting add to cart to get a lower, cost per acquisition of a customer, which it just doesn't work like that anymore. It used to be an old thing that people chose add to cart, and then they would assume that because the person had added to cart, they'd go ahead with the purchase. But when you're choosing this conversion event, it will only show your ad to people who have in their past tendencies been shown that all they've done is gone onto a website, added to cart, but they've never taken action on a purchase. Okay, so it's really a waste of time. Okay, so if you look below, these are the previous 3 months before we had been working with the brand. I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see. So really, like, they've been doing, these were their campaigns, as you can see here, and they were just being completely, they were all over the place, and they weren't generating. They'd spent 9,000, they weren't generating any really return on ad spend, so not very profitable. Okay, so as you can see, there's no structure to the campaigns. The spend was high, not gaining any results, and they were actually losing money. So, and as I said, they said that they thought Facebook ads wasn't for them, which was far from true, because we could see that some good metrics via Amazon and sales coming through, that they just not found the correct formula to market these products, and have been using outdated methods with little to no testing. Okay, so fast forward to March, we began to work on this brand. We did a complete account restructure. We simplified the ad account and implemented a top of funnel evergreen campaign. For this campaign, we studied and researched the niche and handpicked creatives we thought would perform based on what was doing well in their industry. Okay, We then set up their middle and bottom of funnel, which we combined the two as they had low traffic volume. So these campaigns separated would not have performed at all. Their bottom of funnel probably would have got no traffic at all because it was quite a low size. Okay. We then implemented a creative testing campaign, which we believe is a key success for any brands running Facebook ads. Okay. Although it normally being a low return on ad spend campaign, it does yield a lot of success and profit to the overall account and the business. Okay. As you can see here, this is the creative testing campaign that we implemented. I believe it's the first month. So yeah, it's the first 2 months, the creative testing campaign has got a 12x return on ad spend. Okay. And the reason this is so important is, while having creatives perform in the Evergreen campaign is brilliant, if there isn't winning creatives ready to be implemented, once the Evergreen starts to fatigue, it can take a huge hit on account and you're constantly playing catch up. Okay. So we always have a backup of maybe 10, 20 creatives that we know have worked from the creative testing campaign that we can then either move into the Evergreen campaign, or we can make iterations of those winning ads and then continually test or continually have them moving into the Evergreen campaign. Because what some brands will do, or agencies will do, they'll find their winning ads. Once they have their winning ads, they'll get complacent. They'll say, oh, everything's gone fine, we've got a good ROAS, and they won't have their backup. Those ads will eventually start to decline. Okay. And once they decline, you're continually just playing catch up, trying to find new ads. And then your account is in a negative ROAS, or it's in a bad place, and it's very hard to bring that account back. So like, Facebook is not it's a long game. Okay. If meta ads, you need to have a long strategy in place and to be thinking 3, 6, 12 months down the line. Okay. So next bit, we also did some audience testing for this brand as well, which we don't usually do. We usually just go broad with a lot of the audiences, because this then allows us to validate those creatives even more. Okay. But we did test broad, money interest, stacked interest, lookalike, etc. So below are the combined results of the creative testing, Evergreen, audience testing, bottom of funnel, middle of funnel for the first 2 months working on this brand. So in the first 2 months, we spent a total of $5,638.74, and we got a return of $52,806.92. So with a return of 9.37. Okay. So from a brand that had been saying Facebook ads doesn't work for them, or generating poor results, not having a positive return on ad spend, to now generating 50K in first 2 months of us working and partnering together. Okay. So very, very good and happy client and good results. Okay. So now that we have the account in a healthy place, it was time to double down on what was working on the creative side. Okay. So we employed a strategic mix of user generated content, also known as UGC, professionally produced videos, which the client already had. And we just did some editing on them and some text overlays and just implemented that. Also, we implemented psychology-based static ads. So this diversified approach allowed us to tap into various facets of consumer behavior and preferences, ensuring a broader appeal and deeper connection with the brand's target audience. This use of psychological principles in static and UGC ads is particularly aimed at capturing attention, driving conversions by leveraging colors, imagery, messaging that resonates on a subconscious level. Okay. So what you really want to be doing with your ads is you want to be, highlighting pain points, bringing your product in as the solution, etc. It's not about just showing your ad, having a text overlay and saying your offer. Okay. It's also about staying on brand with these creatives. Okay. So it's very, very important to do this with your messaging, with your colors, and with your brand voice. Okay. So for instance, when you think of Rolls Royce and when you think of luxury, okay, when you think of Nike, you think of sports, inspiration, goals, winning. And when you think of Walmart, you think of low prices. Like, this was all done through years of advertising and branding. So make sure creatives align with your brand's overall goals and message. Okay. So don't use cheap looking creatives if your aim is for a luxury brand. Sounds simple, but we see a lot of brands making these mistakes time and times again. Okay. So this combination worked really well, and we saw consistent growth in results both in our accounts and on the back end on Shopify. Okay, so as you can see here, 31st of March to 31st, or 1st of March to 31st of May, we spent a total of 44,000, generated a total of 402,000, okay, with an 8.96 return on ad spend, okay, so really, really good results for these guys, okay. So with the rise of UGC also, in the past year, a lot of people are starting to become more aware of what's an ad and what isn't. Okay, so we've been testing some new creative styles, tactics to grab attention in other ways, similar to UGC, but thinking a little bit more outside the box. And I'll go through them with you guys now. Okay, so first one is the Apple Notes ad. And this is something that we came up with at the start of 2024 just to capture attention. A lot of like normal people, you, me, everybody else, were posting their goals on their Apple Notes. So what we did was we did a screen recording of 2024 goals, buy, and then we inserted product name, and then we had a link for their website. We then clicked on that link while stream recording, showed the whole website, gave them a preview of the website, and had a call to action at the end of it. This worked really, really well because one, it's authentic. People may not know that it is the brand itself. Okay, it captures attention and it gives them a preview of the brand then before they're even on the website. So they're basically having a preview of it. They're already kind of pre-sold, and then they can go on and have a look. The other one is the story question reply Instagram box. So here's an example here. So best luggage in 2024. For 2024 trips, and then you insert your brand name, and then best luggage order purchased. Okay, and this is another one to grab attention, and people do not generally think that is the brand. They may think it's a friend of theirs, whoever it may be. You want to capture attention within 3 seconds. Okay, so this is just little ideas outside the box that we come up with for the brands that we work with. Okay. For this section, it's how we actually measure the performance of these creatives. And this might be valuable to you guys if you aren't already doing this as a brand, or if your in-house team aren't doing it. This is going to be a great way for you guys to measure video performance. Okay, so ROAS is always a good indicator of creatives are performing well, but not a good idea of the key metrics we want to measure to ensure we are not turning off creatives too soon. So what we tend to see happening sometimes is you won't be getting a purchase, or you might not be getting a good ROAS, but this could be because of many things. It could be delayed attribution, whatever it may be. But also, you're not able to analyze the effectiveness of your video or of your UGC just by ROAS. Okay, obviously, if it's getting really high ROAS, you can, but if it's getting mid-range ROAS, you don't know the effectiveness. So what we use for this is hook rate, thumb stop, and hold rate. Okay, so this allows us to analyze. They're both custom metrics. If the video has a good hook, or if it has a good hold rate. So say for instance the video has a really good hook, but it has a bad hold rate. So we'll know, okay, the hook is very good, so we need to change something after that. Okay, so both of these are custom metrics, and you can add to your meta ads column to measure the success of your ads. Okay, so I will show you how to do that now in a second. So the average hook rate for meta is in and around 24%. So anything above this, you're doing well. Anything below, you need to look at the first 3 seconds of your creative. Okay, change things up and improve your hook rate. This is essentially what catches people's attention and draws them into the ad. If you don't have a good hook rate intro, then people won't stick around for the rest of the ad. So this is a really, really key for your ads performance with UGC and video specifically. Okay, so once you've conquered your hook, you now and have it a good. So now that you've conquered your hook and have a good percentage, it's now time to look at your hold rate. The average hold rate for meta is in and around 8 to 12%. As anything above this, you are doing good. Anything below, typo there, need to look at your creative. Okay, so hold rate is an important metric for Facebook ads, and to increase it, you need to address the problem your product solves, show before and after, stay and refer back to the hook, or continue the story. Okay, so as you can see here are some of the metrics from our hook and hold rate. Okay, so all above 24%, all above 8 to 10 or percent as well. Okay, so so here's how you implement this into your own meta ads column, because it actually won't be in there as a custom metric. Okay, so go to custom columns and then go to create custom metric. For hook rate, thumb stop, the formula is 3-second video plays divided by impressions. Make sure the format is in percentage. Name, save, and add to your columns. Okay, so now we go on to hold rate. Okay, and so as above, to go to custom columns, create custom metric. This time, search and add true plays divided by impressions. Also, make sure the format is in percentage, name, save, and you will have that. Okay, so there you go. I'll also leave a link to this case study, or if you need it, just message me directly and I will send it to you. I'll leave it in a link in the description or in the comments. If it's not there, just send me a direct message and I'll shoot it across to you. Okay. So next step in our 4-pillar process was channel alignment. Okay. So now that we have everything running smoothly on Meta and performing with a healthy and high ROAS and profit margins, as you can see here, we decided to add another advertising channel into our strategy. The first one to test and most obvious one for Google. Okay, so we originally wanted to start off with Meta and Google, which we do for brands, but this particular brand was quite hesitant because they had already worked with agencies and they were kind of a little bit hesitant to even continue to work because they weren't sure if Meta ads was going to work for them in the first place. So we said we'd try out Meta and after we'd implement Google. Okay, so these two work really, really well because, as you know, Meta is a disruptive marketing channel, so it gets in front of your viewers or your prospective customers' eyes before they even become aware that they want your product, and then followed up by Google ads when they go and search your product later on. Your ad will come up on Google, so they both work really, really well hand in hand. Okay, so our first month for Google was a really big success. Our spend was 1,660 with a return of 20,400 and a 12.32 extra return on ad spend. Okay, so we also had this was also the best month our client had ever had to date. Okay, so it was a record breaking month for them with 96k plus sales. So in just 4 short months, we 10x their revenue while keeping their ROAS at a very profitable level. Okay, so they were doing 8.5k per month. They were now doing 10x plus that. Okay, which was really, really good for us to see. So we originally set this account for the US market because that's where they were originally just marketing to. But as the account began to grow, we also entered into the EU markets. The setup for this account at the beginning had a mix of campaigns ranging from search, PMAX, shopping, and branding campaigns. Okay, we quickly began to analyze keywords to ensure we knew what was working and what wasn't for this brand, and optimize as we move forward, slowly increasing budgets across campaigns to ensure we are really maximizing their returns. The next 6 months looks something like this across the brand's Google account. Okay, so 30,000 spent, 30,400 spent, with a 276,000 generated with a 9.06x return on ad spend. So as you can see there. So next of all for our channel selection was email marketing. Okay, so with the success of the 2 marketing channels, we decided it was time to really take charge of the back end of the brand's marketing with our email marketing and management systems. Okay, so this brand had already had a marketing manager already working on their emails, but with other commitments and not having the proper knowledge or education and do's and don'ts of email marketing, she was finding it hard to both organize and schedule campaigns, but was also unsure of pop-ups, flows, segmentation, everything, how to test, keep an email account healthy and out of spam, all of that kind of stuff she was kind of unsure of. So the platform we use for email marketing for our partner brands on Shopify is currently Klaviyo, as we feel this is the best software for the needs of any e-commerce brand. Okay, so we started off by analyzing everything from top to bottom from these guys, from their pop-up to their flows, for segmentations, all their campaigns. We analyzed everything, set up a new pop-up, split tested that, segmented out their audiences, and really went deep on their email. Okay, so as we rolled out the new backend system for email, the results began to come in. In our first month, we had generated 132,000 in overall sales for their Shopify brand, with 48,000 of those being via email. Okay, so that's a total of 37% of revenue attributed to Klaviyo. Okay, so this would only grow as all of our channels aligned and work side by side with each other. Okay, so in the past year alone, we generated a whopping $965,616 in email revenue via Klaviyo, which would otherwise could have been lost on their back end. Okay. And so brand growth, we then move on to brand growth and scale, the final piece of the puzzle for these guys. Okay. So now that we had all the channels aligned, tested, and knew what was working, it was time to scale and really grow. There are really only two ways to scale on Meta, and really only two ways that we do. Okay. One is vertical, two is horizontal. Okay. Horizontal, this method involves replicating existing winning campaigns, ad sets, and introducing new ad sets to reach a wider audience. It's a quicker and way to scale our ads. However, it requires careful management to avoid audience overlap, which can lead to increased competition among your own campaigns. So this means that your campaigns are competing against each other. They think Facebook thinks that it is competitors and you're outbidding each other, which can result in your ROAS going down. Okay. So vertical, this is another method which involves increasing the ad spend within the campaign without altering the campaign structure. Okay, it's a safer and more controlled method of scaling, but it requires a steady and gradual increase of budget to maintain optimal performance. So why we say this is because people often say, okay, well, I'm getting 5 extra return on ad spend. Let me just throw 10 grand on that extra on that, like per day or whatever, and I'll become a millionaire. Doesn't work like that. It's Facebook. You have to do it very fine tuned, and or else Facebook will just eat up your money. Okay. So our system for scaling for this partner was a vertical approach. We focus on adding more budget on the incremental basis, as we want to keep the ROAS as high as possible with while increasing the budget, and we do this by 10 to 20% per week. Okay, so we closely monitor each channel to ensure there isn't huge dips in ROAS when we are adding more budget, as this will result in Meta burning through its ROAS decline. So it's important to keep a close eye on things. Okay, depending on the goal of the brand and your margins, break even ROAS, etc., you can adjust accordingly and scale more or less aggressively. Okay, so scaling examples for this brand via Meta. Okay, so 1st of March 2023, 1 year after partnering with this brand, the current spend is 10k on average, and with an 8 to 9 extra return ad spend and a return of 90 to 100k average conversion value via Meta ads. Okay, so 1st of April 2023, we scaled on 15% average depending on the ROAS. Okay, so results for the month of April: increased ad spend by 7,000, increased revenue generated by 59,000, while maintaining the ROAS of 8.53. Okay, so as you can see there, we've increased the ad spend to 18,000 per month, and we've got an increase, and our return on ad spend is 156,000. Okay. So brand growth and scale via Google advertising. Okay, so unlike Meta, Google advertising doesn't allow the same structure of increasing budget on Google, as Google is intent based. So even if you have a very high budget on Google, Google may not show your ads unless there is relative intent and search for keywords based around your business. Okay, so there are a number of different ways in which you can scale on via Google, depending on your goals and your business. Okay, so here are some we would recommend and also have implemented for this brand partner in particular. Okay, so uncapped budgets, targeting more languages, expanding locations and targeting, so targeting more countries, expanding your keywords, broad match keywords, and competitor keywords. Okay, so from doing the above, more budget is naturally added as you are bidding for more similar keywords that are already working for the brand. Okay, so you're expanding into languages. So for instance, this brand originally advertised in the US, so adding Spanish as a language can increase search volumes, as there are 41 million native Spanish speakers in the US, meaning a lot of these will use Spanish as a language on Google search. Okay, as it plays a vital role in scaling on Google. Okay, so below is the first initial scale on this partner's Google advertising. As said above, it isn't as simple as adding more budget to the campaigns to Meta. So scaling Google could be a little bit more complex. Okay, so from 7,500 per month with a 9.3 return on ad spend, with 70,600 purchase conversion value, to 12,100 per month with a 7.63x and a 92.5 conversion value. Okay, so in this case we spent 4,590 more to make 21,900 more in sales. And although the ROAS did dip slightly, this would expect it as we are scaling, and it's still highly, highly profitable. That's 21,000 extra that they wouldn't, 15,000 extra that they wouldn't have made. So 21 minus the 4.59 that they wouldn't have made. Okay, so as our traffic began to increase, this means a lot more subscribers. So the brand growth on email. Okay, so as the traffic began to increase, this meant a lot more subscribers to our email list, more people entering pop-ups, welcome flows, abandoning carts, and overall a lot more people becoming aware of the brand. So it's our job to nurture these subscribers on the back end differently to the paid ads platforms. You cannot increase budget on email. Okay, it's not a paid platform. So we continued doing what we have been doing with the brand messaging, ensuring hitting all events of the year, both US and EU calendars, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, Labor Day, etc. We also ran competitions, giveaways, exclusive pre-order campaigns to ensure email subscribers were getting something valuable and felt a part of something bigger that regular non-subscribers didn't have, access to. Okay, so the key to email marketing, we believe, is to sell without selling. Okay, it's building trust, projecting brand message and voice in a way that people think, I would like to buy from this brand. Okay, it's not just pushing sales. It's building brand, making them feel a part of something, doing giveaways. If you push too much, you'll just end up in spam, and that's the way it is. Okay, so we want to make the buyer feel they already know and trust our partners, therefore making it a no-brainer to hit that buy button. Okay, so the next page will show examples of the campaign results. This is the pre-order campaign that we did, okay, which generated 8,000 alone in sales. Okay, so conclusion and overall results. Okay, so since the beginning of our partnership with this brand, we have worked endlessly, leaving no stone unturned. While our back-end systems and strategies have done a lot of the heavy lifting, we would not have come this far without the cooperation of the partner. From communication to taking direction from us, they have been a pleasure to work with, okay, and alongside, and it really plays a key role in the success of any partnership. Okay, so why we say this, and why this is really important, is because when we partner with a brand, we need to align goals. Their goals then become our goals, and we will work tirelessly till we can hit them. But we need the cooperation of that brand, whether it be communication, sending assets over, reviewing briefs, having quick calls, whatever it may be. It's really, really important for both of us to work together, and it's our job to communicate as much with them, but it's also as much their job to communicate back with us. Okay, so otherwise it really, really, really won't work. Okay, so when we do partner with a brand, we come on and we align goals. We want that goal as much as they want the goal. Okay, so with that being said, the results really do just speak for themselves with this brand. From being in and around 100k per year, our brand partnership has now ensured that we hit over 1 million in sales in the first year of working together. So as you can see, this is the first year. So 1st of March 2022 to 29th of February 2023 did over 1 million in sales. So we like 100x their sales. Okay, so from 10k from 8,500 per month, they're now doing over 1 million a year. Really, really powerful stuff. So from here, we went to grow even further, and we have generated a total of we have generated $4,560.09, with our biggest month so far being a record-breaking month in November of 587,000 in sales. Okay, so on Meta, we have generated a total of $2,446,152 with 54 cents, with an average ROAS of 80.09. Okay, on Google, we have generated over 1,320,000 with a ROAS of 6.4. So from doing 8.5k per month to now doing over 3 million a year, it's safe to say we have nailed it for this one again. Okay, so when channels are properly aligned and implemented correctly, with the correct teamwork and the right effort, with the right work ethic. So from doing 8.5k per month to over 3 million per year. It's safe to say we have nailed it with this one, okay? When channels are aligned properly and correctly and the right teamwork and ethic, you can achieve great things, okay? So our next goal for 2024 is 7 million in sales, and we are confident we're going to achieve this, okay? So to say we are happy with the growth of this brand and partnership is an understatement. Really, really happy with this, and it's not only from our side, it's for the brand side, okay? Pleasure working with the guys. And we have continued to work on and hit these goals year after year for these guys. It's a long-term project. It's a long-term goal. It's a long-term vision. We're not in it for the short run. We like to partner with brands, align goals, and work tirelessly to achieve them. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. It was a long one. I hope you found this useful. If you did find it useful and you want to book call me, there will be a link here. If you have any questions regarding anything, just drop me a message. And yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this, guys. I'll leave some links to my Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and the results for the agency as well there. As I said, guys, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure to record this and hope you got some value from it. Chat to you soon and have a good day.